8 Bells, a short-lived filly who could race with the boys. She galloped her way through the Kentucky Derby, resulting in breaking both of her front ankles, and was euthanized right there on the racetrack in Louisville, Kentucky, while Big Brown's victory was celebrated. Hello, my name is Kaylee Simmons, and I ride quarter horses and train barrel horses. Therefore, I am knowledgeable about what ages and body development to help refrain from injuring a young horse. I would like to inform you all why I think racing young horses is bad. We will discuss the history of the thoroughbred racing, the body development of a thoroughbred, and the outline of what the thoroughbred's body goes through when doing the strenuous activity of racing. Thoroughbred racing has been popular in the U.S. for many years, but why hasn't a better safety precaution been made? So let's take a look on how thoroughbred racing has evolved through the years. Horse racing was brought to the U.S. from England, but wasn't established until after the Civil War in the 1800s. During the 1890s, there was over 300 racetracks in the U.S. Thoroughbreds are used in racing because they naturally have a long stride, have a long-lasting stamina, they are aggressive and high-strung, making them great competitors. In 1750, a group of racing people formed the Jockey Club, known today as the largest and only thoroughbred registry for racing. Now that we've looked at the history, let's take a look at the body of the thoroughbred. Just like any other horse, thoroughbreds are not done growing until around age 5. Thoroughbreds that are raced in the Kentucky Derby are only 3 years old. There are many different ligaments and tendons in the lower leg and pastern, which is like an ankle in people, and if they are not protected, they can be torn, which sometimes can lead to permanent damage and end with euthanization. Thoroughbreds are very long-legged with long necks and long backs, helping them reach out when running. Now let's take a look at the video of 8 Bell's last race.
Facility, 8 Bells, who had finished second, beaten 5 lengths by Big Brown. A heroic effort against the Colts. And we're told now that 8 Bells, the filly, has been injured.
Some information right now
There she is.
going on the track ambulance. Equine ambulance was just headed over there.
Fortunately, she broke both front ankles and collapsed, lost support to both of them, and so they immediately euthanized her because there was no possible way to save her, and that's an injury that's painful, so they just euthanized her immediately.
Lastly, let's take a look at what the horse's body goes through when running races. As you may notice when you watch your next horse race, pay attention to the horse's legs. It is rare that you ever see any sort of protection. Take into consideration that races run in whatever weather and ground condition may be. The ground could be bone dry or sloppy mud. According to the Jockey Club, thoroughbreds can run an average of 35 to 45 miles per hour. Take 8 Bells for instance. In 2008, she finished second to Big Brown and broke both of her front ankles after crossing the finish line and was euthanized right on the racetrack. Once again, she wasn't wearing any leg protection, which may have saved her life. She died at just 3 years old, and according to the Jockey Club, in 2008, 36 horses suffered fatal injuries in Kentucky racetracks. I would like you to think about the reality of this situation. A young horse whose body isn't done developing yet is raced at their maximum potential, injured and killed or handicapped for the rest of their life. Today we learned about why thoroughbred racing is bad. We went over the history of thoroughbred racing, the body development of a thoroughbred, and what their bodies endure during racing. Owners of these horses don't genuinely care for these animals. Do you know that according to ESPN Racing, Seabiscuit was injured in his very last race and was sent to Japan for slaughter? The only remains of him in the U.S. is a memorial. All these animals are used for is gambling.